Let me explain. Let me explain something. Check this out.
You got to be the change you want to see in the world. Be the change.
Check this out.
Welcome, everyone. I believe this is NumisMeeting number 4, DeFi launch and beyond. I like that title. Joining me today is Mr. under the NumisMe account, and Aaron. So, gents, how are you doing this week?
Doing good, sir. It's a happy Friday.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be having a lot of happy Fridays.
Yeah, every Friday is a happy Friday, but especially when Bitcoin's not looking too bad, huh?
Yeah, high five, man. What's up with Bitcoin? What's up with Ethereum?
Yeah, it feels pretty good. I don't think we're really going to do like a major market recap here, but we will do a little bit of one, which is here's non-financial advice, because I've seen this happen at this point in the market. So a lot of us, obviously, we've been in a bear market. Folks are looking to diversify. One of the things they like to diversify into, besides NUME, is Bitcoin or Ethereum. My advice is don't FOMO, don't fear of missing out, chase candles. Don't let that psychology play you. There is a good chance that it could continue to go up in the coming days, week. If you're not in a good position that you planned out, don't go rushing in, just chasing it. That's the only thing I'm going to put out there. I did post into the NumisMe chat a little bit of a breakdown on the 3 different courses of action that I think the market could take from here. And it's worth a little bit of a read. I can pin that up into the announcements if anyone can't find it. At least it gives you an idea of what the possibilities and the likelihood of each are. You know, speaking of market, though, the really exciting thing that we noticed this week was NumisMe. The NUME token since launch, I know some of you guys saw this, but the NUME token has been up 70% against Ethereum since launch day. And then even if you say, okay, well, that first day was wild. We were up and down all over the place. You know, if you discount the first big move on the first day, we're still up 25% against Ethereum since then. So in any case, this is really a reflection of the fantastic community, the support that the community gives us, and that faith in the roadmap and the vision for where we as a community, not just, the project team, not just me, not just you, all of us collectively acknowledging that vision, for the financial independence, financial sovereignty, and the things that get us really excited. I'm glad to have all of you on board for this, and we're just getting started. So I don't know, that really got me hyped up when I was looking at that chart and I saw that. I thought, man, that's incredible. 70%.
I think that just kind of owes to our approach to building. We continue to build, we continue to innovate and ship product. I think the market is taking notice. Even during the time between us setting up for this NumisMeeting recording, like right now, we saw a little bit of an uptick in price. It's really good to see. And I think, to your point on avoiding TA on Bitcoin right now, it is still the asset that determines the weather of the entire crypto space. So knowing that we've been slowly creeping up in price, the fact that we're up against Ethereum, and now we have a bit of a little rally going on, it does feel good, and it does position us well to really take advantage of our launch, right? The recent DeFi products that we rolled out. Maybe I'm skipping ahead a little bit too much. Maybe we should save that portion for a few minutes from now, because I do think we want to get some community updates out there, right? And especially a spotlight.
Yeah, we can return to that, to recap what we'll cover today. I know we just kind of jumped into it because we've been talking for a bit. We'll have some market analysis. We talked about that. We'll dip back into that in a little bit. Some news, community spotlight. We'll get into the project update, which will include some information on the launch itself, the metrics, as far as things like price, total value locked into the protocol, etc. What's next as far as the roadmap. And then at the end, we'll have a Q&A. So if there's anything that you have in mind that you really want to pick our brains about, please drop it into Discord, to Telegram, or when we get to that part, if you're not shy on the microphone, we'd be glad to have you up here and we can talk. Community spotlight. That sounds like something I would be passing over to you, Aaron.
This was a really fun one because we've been doing poker for probably 5 or 6 weeks now. It's one of the activities that our community member Pep Boy has been pretty involved with, is along with some of the bounties and graphic contests. Got to get a little personalized graphic there, being the poker king that he is. He actually just won yesterday's as well. Him and Mountain Chick hashed it out to the end, but there was a victor. It's great to be engaging the community on a level that's is creating this consistent, kind of consistent bond, and it's been really fun for everybody every time. So it's nice. It's nice to have that be an integral part of this project.
Yeah, and the community spotlight is we pick a community member every week that's not just engaged and has a positive attitude, but is positively contributing, right? Whether it's through helping folks or, creating memes, what have you. We just want to make sure that everybody, that's participating in the conversation is, recognized, and especially those folks every week that have kind of up-leveled their participation a little bit. So, congrats to people, congrats for winning poker. Congrats on the community spotlight. And we'll see. Can't wait to see who gets the next community spotlight.
Yeah, and if I can add a quick note to the end of that, not to boost Pep Boy's ego anymore, but yeah, he has been a great contributor to the community, positive force. I love the energy. In my opinion, the number one trait that will make you a successful investor in the crypto space, bearing in mind that crypto is so volatile that I think 1 year in crypto is like 5 years or 10 years in, say, stocks. The number one trait that makes you successful here is your attitude, the ability to be positive, to remain focused, on whatever your goals are, and to remain, level-headed despite the volatility, despite the stress that the market brings you. This crypto markets just kill the motivation of so many people. I'll see people come in, they're really excited to start doing crypto. They can't handle the volatility, and they say, okay, I'm going to move, back into something else. Maybe I'll do my 401k, I'll do stocks, I'll do something else. You got to stay positive. And that's what I love about being a part of the community like NumisMe, is you build that community of friends, that community, your online crypto family. And you can support each other, good, bad, and different, wherever the market goes. That you have someone you can talk to. So, big thanks to Pep Boy, and to everyone else that is a big contributor to the community in so many different ways. So
yeah, we've got another community spotlight person in here, Rye.
Yeah, that was our first one, right?
Yeah, he was. He's been with us since the very beginning of the project.
He's the OG spotlight right there. Next up, Mister, is your favorite part. We're going to talk about the project update.
Oh man, I love this part.
Yeah, it's, knowing that since the last time all of us have met, we had our launch, right? What's going on? What's happened since launch?
So we are live, and what that means is we've rolled out our initial suite of DeFi products, and that encompasses our vaults, our LP staking rewards, and our NUME staking. With those launching about a couple weeks ago, happy to say that we've seen about an 8x growth in TVL to date. I'm looking at it right now. It looks, it's about 8x growth. And I think we've seen something like a 20% growth in the number of holders of NUME. And then, kind of as long as we're rattling off stats over here, the growth in our socials, right? In terms of engagement, in terms of the number of followers. All that said, it's still early days, right? So we're really excited on the trajectory we're on, but we're more excited to maintain that, keep that momentum going, and see if we can't keep on posting 8x, 10x TVL growth every week or two. It only takes a few of those cycles to really make some exponential gains in TVL. But I'm just really excited that we're live. For anybody that's not aware, we are live on app.numisme.io. For the folks that are coming over from the y-axis side of things should look pretty familiar. We've focused our yield strategies a little bit. We've taken a couple vaults out of the picture, making sure that we're focusing on assets that are in demand, but also making sure that we're focusing on vaults that are able to generate the protocol meaningful revenue. And that sweet spot is our current vault mix. Like I said, for the folks that are coming over from the y-axis side, that should all look very familiar. For the folks that are new to DeFi or new to NumisMe, again, you can come check us out on app.numisme.io. If any of it doesn't make sense to you, please come hit us up in the Discord and the Telegram, DM us on Twitter, what have you. We're more than happy to help you out and give you some pointers. We do have some tutorials and some infographics in production to make it easier on everybody that may be interacting with our vaults for the first time, maybe interacting with DeFi for the first time. And we intend to make it as easy as possible. There are a few steps you have to go through, but we promise it's worth it because the yields are still juicy right now. We're looking at triple-digit yields across all our vaults currently. They have gone down a bit because our TVL has grown. That's a good thing. The fact that we're still at triple-digit APR, great. The fact that our TVL is growing, great. We're in a sweet spot for folks to get in early, to get in while we're building up the momentum, to get in to take advantage of the really high APRs that are on offer right now, and especially to get in while there's the chance to get your NUME for relatively cheap and go stake it in exchange for revenue share. And by the way, whenever you stake NUME, you boost your APR on your vaults. All kinds of utility built into the NUME token. That's kind of why we're so excited about this DeFi launch, because we're coming out of the gate, right, with all different kinds of utility on the NUME token. And that's even before we have the digital loose change partnerships in place where we'll be introducing real world utility. As it stands today, the utility on the NUME token from a DeFi perspective is spot exposure, right? Just holding on to NUME and doing nothing with it but keeping it in your wallet will still expose you to upward price action. It'll give you the exposure to the reflections rewards that are automatically distributed to all NUME holders. By staking and locking NUME, you can boost your vault APR, like I just mentioned. Anybody that stakes their NUME can also vote to drive extra NUME APR to their vault of choice. And then ultimately, on the DeFi utility side of things, the biggest value proposition for the NUME token is that you can stake it and receive ETH. You can stake it and receive a non-native token for us as part of your revenue share. That provides an opportunity for folks to really set up a passive income stream for themselves. The use case that we're looking at right now is essentially, hey, come bring us your digital assets, whether you're rotated into stables at this point or you're still holding on to your ETH or your CVX or, what have you. Come bring us your assets, put it into our vaults, put them to work, grow your wealth through our vaults. Meanwhile, we'll give you NUME as rewards for using our vaults. That NUME you can take at stake and lock. By staking and locking, you'll supercharge the APR on your vault. You can vote to get even more APR on your vault, and you'll set yourself up for revenue share coming in the form of ETH. So for me, I'm just, all kinds of excited to see us finally live, see us being able to generate yield. We've been talking about how we can generate yield in any market conditions, and that has proven true. We're kind of, I guess, technically still in a bear market, but, the bear action we've seen over the past couple of weeks, we've been generating yield. Now that we have a little bit of a bull rally, we're generating yield. So I think that just kind of goes to show how this all works and how our system is able to reliably deliver that yield, regardless of market conditions. So that just has me all kinds of excited, man. Maybe I'm rambling on a little bit, so let me toss that back to you, Patty.
Sure. Well, let me put it in terms that hopefully can really simplify this and hopefully resonate with you. So on one hand, I am the community, whatever you want to call me, right? Community manager for NumisMe. But more importantly is I'm a user and I'm an investor as well. And I put my money where my mouth is, right? I have a good portion of my DeFi investment, I would say most of it actually, in NumisMe right now. And why did I do that? Well, if I go to my bank, which is actually a pretty competitive bank, it's offering on the highest yield savings account right now actually is 4 times over the national average, and it's still less than 1%. With NumisMe, I can get I think right now when I looked in on the website, 250 times higher returns. Now, keep in mind that's the current rates that are offered on NumisMe, which do come down as more investors come in. Those rates come down because you're now splitting, diluting those, sharing that revenue or those rewards with other investors. Even if it comes down dramatically and it comes down to the levels that we're expecting, it's still going to be 20, 30, 40x over anything that my bank can offer, because banks simply, they don't care. They don't have to. It's almost like they have a monopoly on this, right? It's just a no-brainer to me. And I'm sitting in stables, by the way. Those are just, it's US dollars basically that I have sitting in NumisMe, earning me a very healthy return. No concern for inflation right now. Like it's a good feeling.
It is a veritable monopoly that the financial system has. There is very little choice out there for folks to be able to grow their wealth and participate in, accessing some of these financial products where the, for lack of a better term, the elites are able to grow their wealth because they have access to some of these financial products. But that leaves a lot of folks in the dust. And banks know this, and banks know there isn't much choice out there. So there's no real reason for them. There's no motivation for them to pass through those rates. But for us, because we are much leaner than a bank, we operate on smart contracts, which takes a lot of the operational overhead out of the picture. We can pass through those rates directly to the users. And on top of that, we sprinkle some NUME rewards on top. So as Pap was saying, as that TVL grows, as depositors come into NumisMe, we'll see those rates come down. But the great thing is, we'll always be market competitive, if not market leading in terms of the rates, because we can always ensure that our rates are that much better, whether it's 100% on top of APR, on top of market rates, or whether it's 10% APR on top of market rates. We're still higher than that market benchmark. And we do make sure that we look for yield strategies that are reliable, that are as risk mitigated as possible, that are delivering generous yield. We're accessing some of the best yield in the market. And on top of that best yield in the market, we sprinkle that NUME on top. It's all about making sure that we're delivering value to our users, and we're making sure that we can make these financial products and these ways to grow your wealth accessible to everybody. Pat, you hit it right on the head. Like it is a monopoly. And I think that's part of the problem. And that's what we're trying to build. We're trying to change that, right? We're trying to build a future that is more inclusive. Speaking of the future, like the things that are coming up next. So we just launched our vaults on Ethereum mainnet. Like I said, we have our staking, NUME staking live, and we do have LP staking rewards live. One thing we forgot to mention was the LP Double Up program for everybody that isn't aware. The LP Double Up program is an invite-only program right now. We are testing it in beta. What we're offering folks is the ability to bring us your ETH, and we will provide the NUME that you need to go into our liquidity pool on Uniswap. We'll provide the NUME that you need for free. So we match up your entire ETH position with NUME so that you effectively have, in terms of notional value, in terms of the dollar value of how much you're putting into the liquidity pool, we're essentially doubling that. So if you have $100 worth of ETH, right, then you come into the liquidity pool as a normal liquidity provider, you would just have a position at the end of the day that is worth $100, $50 in ETH and $50 in NUME. But if you bring us $100 worth of ETH into the LP Double Up program, we provide you with that $100 worth of NUME so that when you go into the liquidity pool, you have a $200 position in the liquidity pool. Now, what that means is, compared to if you had just come in with your original $100 worth of ETH, you'd be earning rewards at double the rate. So we're not just giving you generous rewards APR for LP providers, we're doubling that through the LP Double Up program. But it is invite only, so I do want to make sure people are aware that go on app.numisme.io. You can apply, right? We have a really simple Google form that you have to fill out, and we'll get in touch. We've seen some interest in the program, and it is promising. You know, we can't promise that we will approve all applications to come in. We are being very cautious with that program for now. we'd love to hear from you. We'd love to get those applications in. That represents our current state with our vaults, with staking, with LP staking rewards, and with our LP Double Up program. Now, what's just over the horizon is what I'm excited to talk about now, our Pay Me loans, right? And we spoke about that a little bit on the previous call, and we definitely gave a preview of it on the most recent AMA. But just for everybody's benefit here, the thing that we're building towards now is our Pay Me self-repaying loans. Just a quick recap of that. The way that works is it is a collateralized loan and it is a free loan. So the way it works is somebody, that's interested in using our Pay Me self-repaying free crypto loans, they would bring us, say, $100 in stablecoin. They would deposit that $100 of stablecoin into the Pay Me vault. And what we do is we give up to 60% of the value of that deposit as an instant loan, right? We instantly issue stablecoins against the $100. If you max out the loan, you can get up to $60 instantly in stablecoin and do whatever you want to do with that, right? You go buy some shoes. $60 isn't really enough to go buy a car, but hey, if you take out a loan big enough to go buy a car, right? And what we do is that $60 loan, we pay it back for you over a number of years, right? Say it's about 3 years, give or take. At the end of that 3 years, we pay your loan back for you with no interest charges. And once it's all paid off, we give you the original $100 back. So at the end of that 3-year period, give or take, you walk away essentially with a value of $160. And I think that's really cool because that represents, for the protocol, it represents a way to grow our TVL, which is great. For the user, it represents a risk-free crypto loan that is free. It's a risk-free, free crypto loan. That's a bit of a tongue twister, but for folks that are looking to essentially get all the yield that they would have earned over the course of 3 years up front, this is the product for them. If you're comfortable just earning your yield and sitting around and watching your wealth grow over a few years, great. The vaults are the place for you. But if you're the type that needs to access some of your capital now, but you'd rather not sell any of your digital assets, Pay Me is the product for you, because what we do is we give you that 3 years worth of yield upfront. And that comes in the form of the $60 loan that you can take out against your $100 deposit. And so that's what's next. That is a fully audited product. The code base has been audited. It's been patched. It's been optimized. In fact, we've been optimizing it for months at this point. So we're really excited to get that out the door. Where we stand on that currently is we are just setting up the front end into our staging environment. Once we have our staging environment stabilized, we'll start testing. With testing, you're always going to find some issues. So we'll fix those issues. And as soon as we're comfortable with the staging environment and making sure that it's as bug-free as we can ensure, then we push that live and we launch. I'm hesitant to give timelines just because, again, bugs are bugs. It's really hard to predict what that production pipeline is going to look like. But I am quite optimistic that we'll get that out in short order. It's a matter of weeks before we can get Pay Me self-repaying loans launched. So that's kind of what's next.
To me, that's the holy grail there. I can't wait. That's definitely going to be my favorite feature. Speaking of the features, I know there's been some questions about some of the finer points of using the D app, the decentralized app. Sometime this week, we're going to host, so you got to pick a time, a little overview of how to use some of these services, how to participate in the weekly votes and, using those votes to drive bonus emissions to your vault. And then even just some simple things like how to go to Curve and get those tokens. And if there's any other things you guys want to walk through, we'll make sure to add that into the agenda, but we'll have that sometime in the next week. We'll let you know when that's coming. Let me see. What else do we have? Do we have anything else on the project side, sir?
Just to kind of round it all off, I do want to leave time for a Q&A, and we can't go too long on this particular NUMIS meeting just because we're back-to-back against an AMA with Coin Republic. So we should probably plug that a little bit, Pat. But just to kind of close off project updates, because we're fully launched with our initial DeFi products, we are ramping towards our next launch, which is really soon. From a project update standpoint, What we're focused on right now is to build partnerships within the DeFi ecosystem so that we can get that additional awareness that we need for folks to know about our rates, the folks to understand what our value proposition is, especially because we do have our hybrid emission system model, I should say, that incentivizes folks to take their NUME rewards and instead of sell them, again, stake them and set yourself up for that revenue share, for that passive income, right? We're focused on building out those partnerships. We're having those conversations now. We have pitches on deck to bring other communities into the fold. So that's super exciting. I just wanted to put out a little call to action to community members out there that are both live and, that'll be listening to this recording a little bit later. We need your help, guys. It's all about community first, and what that means in DeFi. To be community first is not just the journey and the family and all the learnings that you can get by participating in the community, but it also means that we're all in it together in terms of promoting ourselves, right? Making sure that we can get that additional awareness with everybody out there. So whether it's your Twitter followers or other Discord groups, other Discord servers that you're in, or maybe it's other Telegram groups that you're in, what we're asking is spread the word. You can retweet our tweets. You can take some of the memes that are in our Discord and go share them out. You can go share our tweets in other Discords and other Telegrams. But yeah, just want to rally the troops a little bit. This is a call to action to anybody out there that is just maybe as excited as us for the APR or just for the journey, the DeFi journey that we'll all be taking together. Please do spread the word. Make sure that all the folks that you know and speak to on a regular basis know about NumisMe and all the different ways that we deliver value to users through the NUME token itself, through our vaults, through our upcoming Pay Me self-repaying loans. We'd love to hear your voices out there. We'd love to see you get engaged. That kind of wraps up project updates, Mr. Pat.
All right. Thank you, sir. Yeah, if you're as excited about the future promise of DeFi, Web3, and NumisMe, this is your chance to help support our journey in getting that good word out. I think we might even have some bounties too. If you're the kind of person that likes to do memes or make videos, or you can do music, there's a lot of options, a lot of fun ways to do that, or even just do some artwork. All of the above, I believe, are bounties on our bounty board. I've posted that link a few times. I'll post it again. That's one of my favorite things to do in the space is just participating and stuff like that. We do have another AMA coming up. If anyone wants to participate, that link has been posted in Discord and in Telegram. And that's going to be with Coin Republic. It's going to be at 9 p.m. UTC, 5 p.m. Eastern, which is going to be in about 25 minutes. If anyone wants to join us, hope to see you there. So this will take us to the Q&A portion of the call. So I'm just going to start checking the chat. And if anyone here in the call wants to come up on the stage and ask us anything, just raise your hand. There should be a button there that lets you do that. And then Aaron, if you want to help me check in Telegram, I'll check in Discord.
Yeah, you bet.
I see Eamon. I don't know if Eamon's on the call with us, but if he is, hey Eamon. Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he's here.
What's going on, man? So Eamon, for those who don't know, he's very, very active in the Avalanche community, but also he's a longtime investor in a lot of the same circles as me. I'll show. I don't think he posts too much up there, but he's a really good trader and does some really good charting. But I don't see any questions on the Discord side. How's Telegram looking, sir?
Yeah, not a peep.
We do have Eamon requesting to go live here, so why don't I just approve him? What's up, Eamon? You should be able to unmute your mic now.
What's up, guys?
Hey, good to hear your voice, sir.
What's going on?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, guys. So I saw that Poppy was in this in the call, and I was like, I heard him talking about NumisMe before, so I was like, might as well come and learn something about it. If you guys just had to, describe your platform in like a sentence or two, like what is NumisMe?
Boy,
that's a good one. In that sentence, it's definitely a tough one. But the way I would describe us in as short of an explanation as possible is we are a real world utility focused DeFi suite. Basically, that's the shortest way I can come up with to kind of describe all the different things we do, because we do have our traditional yield generating services. We do have our self-repaying loans, which is just over the horizon. But really what we're building towards is real world utility by being able to digitize loose change, the fiat physical change, the bills and the coins you would usually get back from the store when paying with cash. We're able to onboard that into our mobile app and use that as a way to onboard folks into crypto, into DeFi, and give folks the ability to use that change that they get from stores to start their crypto journey, to start their DeFi journey, most importantly, to be able to earn the kind of rates that we're used to in the DeFi space, give them the ability to do that without having to necessarily go through their bank and through a centralized exchange to onboard into their Web3 wallet and then go explore Web3. We're trying to bring that real world use case into DeFi. So maybe that wasn't one sentence. Sorry.
Yeah.
I would say
I know it's hard to get something complicated into a sentence. I just wanted to, push you guys.
He just wants to test us. I got
Yeah, that's a good challenge, man.
I think if I was going to say in one sentence, I would be like, and I know Misam's listening probably doesn't like me using this word, but I would call it the merger of a next generation cash pay app and DeFi. And the simplest terms, that's really what we're trying to achieve, is that full end-to-end from the consumer retail side that has no interest and no experience in crypto, bringing them value, but offering them advanced financial services in the DeFi side if they know how or are interested.
Would it be fair to compare what you guys do with like that spare change into DeFi? Would it be fair to compare you guys to like an app like Acorn?
That's a great question. No, and the short answer is no, it wouldn't be fair, because Acorns, what they do is they're kind of a roundup, right? And they round up your purchase to the next dollar or whatever you set it to. They round it up and charge you that full roundup fee. And the difference between the purchase price and the roundup amount gets deposited. What we're doing is not a roundup. We're actually taking the actual change that you get back from merchants at the point of sale, right at the cash register, and we're digitizing that change. So instead of the cashier or the store handing you the bills, the coins, and you putting it into your pocket and your wallet, we're saying, hey, we live in a digital age. Let's scan the barcode that's on the app, and the change, rather than being handed back to you into your hand, the change gets sent into our mobile app. From there, in the digital version of the fiat that gets sent into the app, the user can access the DeFi services that we're making as seamless and simple and easy to use as possible, because the goal here is to really onboard the masses, right? Onboard true consumer retail audiences into crypto, into DeFi, and give them the ability to use, as Mr. Pamp was saying, these advanced financial services that, until we started building our app, has been a little bit complicated. There is a barrier to entry in terms of the knowledge it takes, the expertise, and certainly the time it takes to really get comfortable and understand how all this works. We're bringing all those services to the masses in a simple to use app. But yeah, no, it wouldn't be like the Acorns or any of the other roundup apps. I think I can't remember which app just recently announced that they're also doing roundups, but there are plenty of roundup apps, and we're not like them at all.
I like the idea, but I'm wondering how exactly you guys are, because you said it's not a roundup app, and you're basically taking change that's given to you at the cash register. So you're not doing anything with a card. So how exactly are you converting that cash into, or how are you digitizing that cash and bringing it onto the blockchain in like an efficient way?
So what we do is we work with partners. We understand what their financial stack looks like, their tech stack looks like, how to integrate into their books. We provide the rails that allows them to essentially ACH over the change into essentially a wallet. And that's where the efficiency comes in, because we take out all the overhead associated with managing cash, making sure that the cash in the drawers are reconciled, making sure, removing the overhead required to, transport all that fiat, to secure all that fiat. Yeah, we're removing all those inefficiencies and just sending that cash straight into your wallet inside our mobile app.
If I understand properly, basically the consumer would buy something, and then instead of choosing to get change back, they choose to have it sent into their mobile wallet. And the process of that is the consumer or the clerk behind the desk does some kind of proprietary work with you guys, and then they have it set up so that cash goes into a bank account, which then buys crypto and goes into the consumer directly's wallet, or does it go into like a central wallet?
Yeah, that's a little bit of clarification. You pretty much got it, but just to clarify a little bit, the cashier, right, would basically scan the barcode using the scanners that they currently have at most cash registers, or use it at the kiosk. Those robot kiosks, the self-checkout kiosks, right? They all have scanners built into them. So we're using that technology on the scanning side. One other little bit of clarification is we don't buy crypto on behalf of the user. What we do is we send the fiat in digital form into the mobile app, and from there, it's like having a cash balance, and they can do what they want with that cash balance, whether it's go into a stablecoin and deposit that into our DeFi savings account, or maybe they want to go buy NUME. We don't buy the crypto on behalf of the user. To your last question, it's not a centralized wallet, right? These are all non-custodial wallets. Every user would have their own wallet. So the digitized change goes back into each user's own wallet. It's not like a centralized pool or anything like that of funds.
Well, how do you do that? If you're taking fiat and then you're basically depositing it into a bank account, how are you buying, or is the cash in the app basically an IOU?
The cash in the app, and the way we enable that is through our ramp partners. We have different vendors that we're working with on the fiat rail side as well as crypto rails. It's not an IOU. It is actually going to be transferred over as digital cash into the user's account. And from there, the user can do whatever they want with that, essentially the cash balance that they have in the app. Like if you look at Venmo or you look at Cash App, right? You have that, right. You have your cash balance sitting there.
Okay.
It's basically like that, but then instead of, using that to send to somebody for, their share of the bill for dinner last night, what we're saying is use that to go into our DeFi savings account or go buy NUME, et cetera, et cetera. Okay.
And you guys are on ETH, yeah?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's an interesting concept. I like how you guys can, I guess, directly integrate with those cash registers with the barcodes. I like that. That's clever.
We're trying to use existing technologies as much as possible, because it's hard enough for us to build this using the existing technologies. If we have to reboot everything and start, putting hardware out there, that would be a whole different, level of headache. So I'm glad you like it, man. That is the way we're approaching it.
What was your? I'm just curious. This is not really like a project related. I guess kind of project related, but kind of unrelated at the same time. But what drove you guys to build on ETH instead of another platform?
Yeah, it's a great question. The inception of the project happened in a bit of a different market, right? And ETH was king at that time. And so, we've been planning to launch on ETH for a while. So we've executed that plan, and getting on ETH, it has its pros and its cons, because the liquidity on Ethereum is deep, right? The yields available on Ethereum are solid. and proven. Because everything we do is so revenue focused, we want to make sure that we're able to generate yield and generate revenue off that yield reliably and sustainably. So, all that adds up to the pros of launching on ETH. The cons are pretty apparent, right? The transaction costs can be quite high. But we've seen gas prices be pretty low recently. And with the upcoming merge, I think, fingers crossed that it does help gas prices a little bit more.
So
we are going multi-chain, just so we won't be an ETH-only project.
Okay.
When we do, we are, beyond PayMe, which is our near-term launch milestone. The next thing that we're looking towards is NumisMe Pro, which is our next generation vaults. We're calling them our canonical vaults. And those will be on another chain, whether it's an L1 or an L2. We're looking at EVMs, EVM compatible protocols. And that'll be something really juicy.
Because one thing, like when I think about your business model, or when I think about like the way that you guys are pitching this to a consumer, where like, okay, instead of taking your change, which is going to be in maybe the 25, 50 cent, maybe a few dollars tops, and they use this or at least when you guys are starting up, it's not going to be available at every store, so it'll take a while to accumulate balance in the app. And considering that, like on ETH, especially, or even now, or in a heated market, you're basically going to be saving up like days and days and days of shopping just to pay for that $1, $5, $10 transaction fee. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's why we're building what we're considering our yield engine. We're rolling that out now, right? And our vision is to get the mobile app plugged into our yield engine. And to your point about saving up days and days to power a transaction, we've already thought that through. The chains that we'll be going on are very low fee or no fee. NumisMe Pro version of our yield engine will be what powers the yield that we deliver in the mobile app. By having the low transaction costs, we're using meta transactions and potentially batching transactions so that we can provide a no gas experience to the user. So as far as the user is concerned, the user shouldn't have to understand that they need ETH to pay for gas. They shouldn't have to worry about the cost of a transaction, right? Because when you use Cash App or Venmo, it's all just click the button and the money moves. That's the experience we're going for. And we're solving that through a few different ways. Like I mentioned, like meta transactions and batch transactions, things like that.
I don't know what chains you guys are planning on moving to, but have you guys looked into maybe hosting something, or hosting like the main, maybe like payment processing side of things on a subnet?
Yeah, like we as the Avalanche enthusiast over here, right? I'm sure that's really close to your heart. Yes, the short answer is yes. We're exploring all kinds of different solutions. We're not really focused on any subnets right now, but that doesn't mean that that's not where the final product ends up sitting.
Right. I'm just saying, like, when you guys get to like a significant scale, a subnet would definitely make sense. Yeah.
And if we can get to a scale where we can have a dedicated subnet just for us, that'd be amazing. And because we are chain agnostic, we don't have to do that first, right? We can build in a phased approach, and we can roll out in a phased approach so that we can prove up our tech, and we can make sure we have the right approach. And down the line, once we hit scale, if we can make a case for and get approved for our own dedicated subnet, hey, that's definitely in the picture.
You can launch a subnet by yourself, by the way. You don't need like approval from anyone. You can just do it yourself.
That's good to know, I think. But regardless, I think it's a little bit early for
for sure,
rolling out a subnet.
Yeah, I know. Poppy knows that if you guys need help with anything on Avalanche, just hit me up. I have some deep roots, and from hearing you guys' idea, I'll be glad to help you guys out.
Oh, thank you, sir. That's great.
Even when you guys get to, I'm sure you guys will get to it. You guys will need a subnet someday. So I know some guys that would definitely be willing to validate for you guys. So
Very cool.
I'll definitely be looking into. I'll read your white paper and docs and whatever, and I'll be grilling Poppy with some questions in his DMs for like a week. But
No problem.
Go for it, man.
But the idea is pretty cool. It's one of the first actually useful DeFi projects I've seen. So
Yeah, right. The real world utility and that next big trend in DeFi is going to be focused on that integration with real world commerce. And to be honest, man, like that real world utility, bringing that to crypto, bringing that to DeFi, that's huge, right? And we're already positioned to take advantage of that trend before it's even a trend. And so we're really excited for that. We're just in a really good position, despite market conditions currently, being able to build and ship this in a down market and get ourselves ready for that bull run that's eventually going to be coming. That's what we wake up for every morning. Position ourselves for that eventual rally that we're all going to benefit from.
I know for your vault, I know I work with a protocol called Vector Finance on Avalanche. It's basically what Convex is, but on Avalanche for protocols like Platypus and Trader Joe. I know like a little bit of alpha here, but I doubt anyone here is, I know that we're building custom, or we're going to be building custom strategies. And if I guess there could be a possible integration here where you guys could set up your own custom strategy and leverage our VE PTP and VE Joe to boost your own yields. Just trying to think of how that would work.
There's definitely some cool possibilities here. We got to scoot out to that clubhouse AMA, guys.
Yeah, we got a few minutes. Yeah, Eamon, why don't we sit in the Discord sometime and have a chat, and maybe we can think.
Yeah, let me know when you guys are around. Yep.
Yeah, and happy to hop into. We have an open general voice chat as well. So why don't we hop into the voice channel sometime? Yeah, we should definitely hash this out. Love your thoughts, Eamon. Thanks for contributing.
Yeah, no problem, guys. Have a good AMA.
Thank you, sir. For everyone that's tuned in, we're going to cut it off there and go get ready for the AMA. Reminder that the link for that is in Discord and Telegram, and that will be hosted on Clubhouse. So you'll need the Clubhouse app. It's only a mobile app. There's no website. If you guys can't make it, I think we're going to try to record that, hopefully. We'll post it up afterwards. So appreciate everyone's time. Thank you, Mr. and Aaron, for joining me.
Yeah, thanks, everyone. Happy Friday. We'll see you next time.
Yep. Happy Friday.
Be the change.